we don't mind the dog bed, and the toys are all put away.
That's
but
fine.
Pet smell is tricky, or
Pet
any
smell,
kind of smell.
cooking smell,
Yeah.
any of that sort of thing really needs to be avoided. If you're
Okay.
going to cook and you're going to have a showing sometime near after, you want to make sure to air the place out. Candles are fine. Cooking odors, you just want to kind of, for the most part, avoid that kind of thing, unless it's chocolate chip cookies.
You know, and I did have a realtor one time suggest bake some bread, maybe make some cookies. Do you like that? Is that too stagey?
No, that's not bad. Cookies, I went to a showing last week, and the owner, it was my buyer, and the owner had just gotten done baking Toll House cookies, and they put a nice little plate on the kitchen table. It was a nice touch.
Okay, so we talked about the kitchen, very important. People are looking at kitchens and bathrooms, you say.
Yeah, the bathroom has to be flawless. It has to be perfectly clean. People don't want to go into a bathroom and see the toilet seat up. They don't want to see toothpaste in the sink. They don't want to see Q-tips on the countertop. It just doesn't work, especially if you get in the higher end homes. Buyers are pretty persnickety in that price range, and it's important to make sure everything looks like a 5-star hotel.
And is this an area too where you would suggest upgrading? If there's anything to be upgraded, this is it?
And I usually give my prospective sellers, I'll meet them before I list the home just to take a look at what I'm getting into. And I'll give them a checklist, literally. They'll have a checklist of things to do because it's a cooperative effort. This isn't just the realtor selling a house. The seller needs to realize that they're going to need to put forth some effort too.
Yeah. And how much money, I mean, would you suggest somebody get their whole place repainted and replace everything? I mean, where's the line?
There is no specific line.
Okay.
Is the short answer to your question. It's just, and that's part of the reason I consult with people. I'll go in with them, even if they don't want to sell for another few years. I'll go in with them and go over, whether you want to remove wallpaper, if you've got nicks in the walls. I don't suggest spending a fortune because you're gonna sell. But if you've got objectionable items that you can get rid of up front, it's a good idea to do so. Bedrooms are important. They need to be tidy.
Okay.
The beds need to be made. The pillows need to be fluffed. It needs to look like a hotel, basically. It needs to look ready.
Boy, that is a good comparison, because like a hotel, because you do get that initial, oh, you're at a hotel, everything's so nice. Boy, that's a good first impression.
And again,
always.
it needs to smell fresh.
Okay.
The smell of dank socks or dirty sheets just isn't going to work.
Yeah.
It needs to be fresh and clean and presentable all the time.
Okay, let's talk about setting up your furniture, sort of staging a little bit.
It needs to be in pretty good shape. You don't want furniture that's torn and worn. You also don't need a lot of it. Less is more, and you don't need a table in front of every couch, a table next to every chair. You don't need all of that stuff. Just minimize it. If you've got too much, just put it in storage. Put it in the basement, put it somewhere else, put it in the garage if you must, just get it out of the main living areas. It is difficult not to take selling your home personal because it is your home, but for a buyer, most of the time it's a business decision.